Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of the deslabbing project. I actually bought over the last few months 2 coins that I thought could be potentials for reslabbing, and you've seen the first one earlier today, and now here's the second one. And of course I was saving the best to last, and be interested to see what you guys think of this. So this one is a 1908 $5 gold half eagle. 1908 was the last year they produced the Liberty head half eagles. They also produced in 1908 the Indian head coins. So whenever you see these slabbed, they always say 1908 Liberty and then 1908 Indian, just to kind of differentiate them. But this one is one of these kind of second-tier slabbing organisations, Numis Trust. I don't really know how reliable they are, but this one was bought as an MS64, and it looked to me to be in pretty amazing condition from the pictures in the auction, and I'm glad to say that the coin does actually live up to the auction pictures in real life, and it looks to me to be in absolutely superb condition. I think that MS64 is pretty appropriate for the coin, and I'm glad about that, and I'm kind of hoping that there is some chance when I reslab it that it might go up to 64 plus or even 65. So we'll see what happens when this goes into NGC to be looked at, and I'll take this one and the previous one out of their slabs in one of the next couple of videos, so you can take a look at the process of unslabbing them. But it's got pretty full, absolutely full luster. There's very few markings, although there are some markings on the fields, but I understand from looking at pictures of other similar coins that some markings are acceptable, and even coins that I've seen graded at MS65 still have some markings on the fields. So well, it'll just be interesting to see what happens. What do you guys think about this? I don't know whether anyone else has come across Numis Trust. You don't see very many of their slabs. I don't know whether they're doing slabbing at the moment, or whether they undergraded or overgraded, or what their reputation is at all. I can't find a whole load of stuff about them on the web, although I'll carry on looking. But let me kind of first show you kind of the research I did and what was in my mind when I bought this coin. So I always use the PCMG coin information apps, and so looking up this particular app, on this particular app, this coin 1908 $5 Liberty, you can see it's actually a pretty common coin, pretty plentiful. 10,000 of these coins are estimated to survive, so that's pretty high. I mean, that's actually really, it's not a rare coin. It was the last one. A lot of people kept them. They weren't really heavily circulated by 1908. So there's a lot of them around. What's interesting is that very few of them have escaped in 65 or better. 225 reckoned to be around out of 10,000, and only 6,000 in grade 60 or above. But probably there's only maybe 5% of them in MS64 or above. So that's why they're pretty expensive coins once they get to the MS64 level. And if you look at the numbers surviving on PCGS, from 64 there's 900 coins that have been slabbed, but over 64 there's only 240 odd coins that are in slabs from PCMG, and I haven't looked up NGC yet at all. So that's another source of information to take a look at. So the next bit of information that I've been looking at is the pricing guide, and you can see from this that MS64 prices at $770, and then above MS64 the prices rise rapidly. So, for example, if there was any possibility that it would get MS65, the price guide goes up to $3,200 for the coin, and then at 64 plus, it's kind of somewhere in the middle, nearer to the 64 price. So the next thing that I've been looking at is PCGS's photo grade application, where you can see the suggested photos for each type of coin. So you can look up the Liberty Head $5 and you can see roughly what they should look like at 63, 64, 65 and 66. And you can see which one most closely matches your particular coin. It's pretty clear from the photo grade that the fields are pretty clear on a 65 coin and then even clearer and crisper on a 66 coin. So the next thing to do is to have a look at some examples from previous auctions of how those coins look for that grade that they've been given. So to do that, I've taken a look at the Heritage auction site and taken a look at some coins. This first one is an example of an MS65 coin, and interestingly you can still see quite a few marks on the field in a coin that's been given MS65 grade, and this coin changed hands for just under $3,000, I think, something like that, maybe $3,500. So it's quite interesting to see that sometimes they will actually grade coins with imperfections, and I think this particular one even got a CAC sticker on it as well, as one of the best examples of its type. So quite interesting background information. This final example is an NGC coin that got graded MS64 plus and had a CAC sticker attached to it to say that it was at the top of that grade as far as the CAC organisation went. And again, you can see 64 plus, a lot of different markings on the fields, and if you look just over the hairline, just at the top of the head, you can see not just kind of little markings, but actually some quite heavy indentations as well. And this coin got a plus grading at 64 plus. So I'm thinking that neither of those two are very far away from the one that I have in the slab at 64. So it will be very interesting to see what NGC do with these in a month or two, and I'll put a link to this particular video back when I do the NGC results and see exactly what happens, so you can be reminded of the difference. So let me know what you think of the 1908 Half Eagle, and happy holidays everybody.